Psychology Chapter 4 Psychological Disorders Concepts of Abnormality and Psychological Disorders. Although many definitions of abnormality have been used over the years, none has won universal acceptance. Still, most definitions have certain common features often called the 4 Ds: deviance, distress, dysfunction, and danger. That is, psychological disorders are deviant, distressing, dysfunctional, and also dangerous. This definition is a useful starting point from which we can explore psychological abnormality. Since the word abnormal literally means away from the normal, it implies deviation from some clearly defined norms or standards. In psychology, we have no ideal model or even normal model of human behavior to use as a base for comparison. Various approaches have been used in distinguishing between normal and abnormal behaviors. From these approaches, there emerges two basic and conflicting views. The first approach views abnormal behavior as a deviation from social norms. Many psychologists have stated that abnormal is simply a label that is given to behavior which is deviant from social expectations. Abnormal behavior, thoughts, emotions are those that differ markedly from a society's ideas of proper functioning. Each society has norms which are stated or unstated rules for proper conduct. Behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that break social norms are called abnormal. A society's norm grows from its particular culture, its history, values, institutions, habits, skills, technology, and arts. Thus, a society whose culture values competition and assertiveness may happen aggressive behavior, whereas one that emphasizes cooperation and family values may consider aggressive behavior as unacceptable or even abnormal. A society's values may change over time, causing its values of what is psychologically abnormal to change as well. Serious questions have been raised from this definition. It is based on the assumption that socially accepted behavior is not abnormal and that normality is nothing more than conformity to social norms. The second approach views abnormal behavior as maladaptive. Many psychologists believe that the best criteria for determining the abnormality of behavior is not whether society accepts it, but whether it fosters the well being of the individual and eventually of the group which he or she belongs to. Historical background. To understand psychological disorders, we would require a brief historical account of how these disorders have been viewed over the ages. When we study the history of abnormal psychology, we find that certain theories have occurred over and over again. One ancient theory is that still encountered today holds the abnormal behavior can be explained by the operation of supernatural and magical forces such as evil spirits, etc. Exorcism, that is, removal of the evil that resides in the individual through counter magic and prayer, is still commonly used. In many societies, the shaman or medicine man is a person who is believed to have contact with supernatural forces and is the medium through which spirits communicate with human beings. A recurring theme in the history of abnormal psychology is the belief that individuals behave strangely because their bodies and their brains are not working properly. This is the biological or organic approach. Another approach is the psychological approach. According to this point of view, psychological problems are caused by inadequacies in the way an individual thinks, feels, or perceives the world. All three of these perspectives, supernatural, biological or organic, and psychological, have recurred throughout the history of Western civilization. In the ancient Western world, it was philosophers, physicians of ancient Greece such as Hippocrates, Socrates, and in particular Plato who developed the organismic approach and viewed disturbed behavior as arising out of the conflicts between emotion and reason. Galen elaborated on the role of the four humors in personal character and temperament. According to him, the material world was made up of four elements, that is, earth, fire, water, and air, which combined to form four essential body fluids. In the Middle Ages, demonology and superstition gained renewed importance in the explanation of abnormal behavior. Demonology related to a belief that people with mental problems were evil, and there are numerous instances of witch hunts during that period. The Renaissance period was marked by increased humanism and curiosity about behavior. John Weir emphasized psychological conflict and disturbed interpersonal relationships as causes of psychological disorders. He also insisted that witches were mentally disturbed and required medical, not theological treatment. The 17th and 18th century were known as the Age of Reason and Enlightenment, as the scientific method replaced faith and dogma as ways of understand abnormal behavior. The growth of scientific attitude towards psychological disorders in the 18th century contributed to the reform movement and to increased compassion for people who have suffered these disorders. Classification of psychological disorders. In order to understand psychological disorders, we need to begin by classifying them. A classification of such disorders consists of a list of categories of specific psychological disorders grouped into various classes on the basis of some shared characteristics. Classifications are useful because they enable users like psychologists, psychiatrists, and social workers to communicate with each other about the disorder and help in understanding the causes of psychological disorders and the processes involved in their development and maintenance. The American Psychiatric Association has published an official manual describing and classifying various kinds of psychological disorders. The current version of it, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, presents discrete clinical criteria which indicate the presence or absence of disorders. The classification scheme officially used in India and elsewhere in the 10th revision of the International Classification of Diseases, which is also known as ICD-10 Classification of Behavioral and Mental Disorders. It was prepared by World Health Organization. For each disorder, a description of the main clinical features or symptoms and other associated features, including diagnostic guidelines, is provided in the scheme. Factors underlying abnormal behavior. In order to understand something as complex as abnormal behavior, psychologists use different approaches. Each approach in use today emphasizes a different aspect of human behavior and explains and treats abnormality in line with that aspect. These approaches also emphasize the role of different factors as biological, psychological, and interpersonal. We will examine some of these approaches later in this lesson. Biological factors influences all aspects of our behavior. A wide range of biological factors such as faulty genes, endocrine imbalances, malnutrition, injuries, etc. interfere with normal development and functioning of human body. These factors may be potential causes of abnormal behavior. We have already come across biological model. According to this model, abnormal behavior has a biochemical or psychological basis. Biological researchers have found that psychological disorders are often related to problems in the transmission of messages from one neuron to another. Genetic factors have been linked to bipolar and related disorders, schizophrenia, intellectual disability, and other psychological disorders. Researchers have not, however, been able to identify the specific genes that are the culprits. It appears that in most cases, no single gene is responsible for a particular behavior or a psychological disorder. In fact, many genes combine to help bring about our various behaviors and emotional reactions. There are several psychological models which provide a psychological explanation of mental disorders. These models maintain that the psychological models include psychodynamic, behavioral, cognitive, and humanistic external models. The psychodynamic model is the oldest and most famous of the modern psychological models. You have already heard about this in chapter 2. Another model that emphasizes the role of psychological factors is the behavioral model. This model states that both normal and abnormal behaviors are learned, and psychological disorders are the results of learning maladaptive ways of behaving. The model concentrates on behaviors that are learned through conditioning and proposes that what has been learned can be unlearned. Learning can take place by classical conditioning, in which two events repeatedly occur close together: operant conditioning and social learning. There are various models like cognitive models, humanistic existential model, socio-cultural model, diathesis stress model, etc., which you will learn about further. Major psychological disorders. Anxiety disorder. We experience anxiety when we are waiting to take an examination or to visit a dentist or even to give a solo performance. This is normal and expected and even motivates us to do tasks well. On the other hand, high levels of anxiety that are distressing and interfere with effective functioning indicate the presence of an anxiety disorder, the most common category of psychological disorders. Everyone has worries and fears. The term anxiety is usually defined as diffuse, vague, very unpleasant feeling of fear and apprehension. The anxious individual also shows combination of the following symptoms: rapid heart rate, shortness of breath, diarrhea, loss of appetite, fainting, dizziness, sweating, sleeplessness, frequent urination, and tremors, etc. They include generalized anxiety disorder, which consists of prolonged, vague, unexplained, and intense fears that are not attached to a particular object. The symptoms include worry and apprehensive feelings about the future, hypervigilance, which involves constantly scanning the environment for danger, etc. It is marked by the motor tension, as a result of which the person is unable to relax, is restless, and visibly shaky and tense. Another type of anxiety disorder is panic disorder, which consists of recurrent anxiety attacks in which the person experiences intense terror. A panic attack denotes an abrupt surge of intense anxiety rising into a peak when thoughts of a particular stimuli are present. Such thoughts occur in an unpredictable manner. The clinical features include shortness of breath, dizziness, trembling, palpitations, choking, nausea, chest pain, discomfort, etc. You may have also heard of who a person who is afraid to climb a tree or maybe stand on a high balcony. This is known as phobia. People who have phobias have irrational fears related to specific objects, peoples, or situations. Phobias often develop gradually or begin with a generalized anxiety disorder. Phobias can be grouped into three main types: specific phobias, social phobias, and agoraphobias. Specific phobias are the most commonly occurring type of phobia. The group includes irrational fears such as intense fear of a certain type of animal or of being in an enclosed space, intense and incapacitating fear and embarrassment when dealing with other characteristics, social anxiety disorder. Agoraphobia is a term used when people develop a fear of entering unfamiliar situations. Many people with agoraphobia are afraid of leaving their home. so their ability to carry out normal life activities is severely limited. Separation anxiety disorder or SAD is another type of anxiety disorder. Individuals with separation anxiety disorder are fearful and anxious about separation from attachment figures to an extent that is developmentally not appropriate. Children with SAD may have difficulty being in the room by themselves, going to school alone, are fearful of entering new situations, and cling to every parent's move. To avoid separation, children with SAD may fuss, scream, throw, or make suicidal gestures. Obsessive compulsive and related disorders. People affected by obsessive compulsive disorder are unable to control their preoccupation with specific ideas or are unable to prevent themselves from repeatedly carrying out a particular act or series of acts that affect their ability to carry out normal activities. Obsessive behavior is the inability to stop thinking about particular idea or topic. The person involved often finds these thoughts to be unpleasant and shameful. Compulsive behavior is the need to perform certain behaviors over and over again. Many compulsions deal with counting, ordering, checking, touching, washing, cleaning, etc. Other disorders in this category include hoarding disorder, trichotillomania, echocreation disorder, etc. Trauma and stressor related disorder. Very often, people who have been caught in natural disasters or have been victims of bomb blasts experience post-trauma stress disorder. PTSD symptoms vary widely but may include recurrent dreams, flashbacks, emotional numbing, etc. Somatic symptom and related disorders. These are conditions in which there are physical symptoms in the absence of a physical disease. In these disorders, the individual has psychological difficulties and complains of physical symptoms for which there is no biological cure. These include convergent disorders, somatic symptom disorder, and illness anxiety disorder. Dissociative disorders. Dissociation can be viewed as severance of the connection between ideas and emotions. Dissociation involves feelings of unreality, estrangement, depersonalization, and sometimes a loss or shift of identity. Sudden temporary alterations of consciousness that blot out painful experiences are a defining characteristic of dissociative disorders. Dissociative amnesia is a characteristic by extensive but selective memory loss that has no known organic cure. Some people cannot remember anything about their past. Others can no longer recall specific events, people, places, or objects. A part of dissociative amnesia is dissociative fugue. Essential feature of this could be an unexpected travel away from home and workplace, the assumption of new identity, and inability to recall the previous identity. The fugue usually ends up when the person suddenly wakes up with no memory of events that occurred during the fugue. The disorder is often associated with an overwhelming stress. Dissociative identity disorder, often referred to as multiple personality, is the most dramatic of the dissociative disorders. Depressive disorders. One of the most widely prevalent and recognized of all mental disorders is depression. Depression covers a variety of negative moods and behavioral changes. Depression can refer to a symptom or a disorder. In day-to-day life, we often use the term depression to refer to normal feelings after a significant loss, such as breakup of relationship or the failure to attain a significant goal. Major depressive disorder is defined as a period of depressed mood and or loss of interest or pleasure in most activities. factors predisposing towards depression. Genetic makeup or heredity is an important risk factor for major depression and other depressive disorders. Age is also a risk factor. For instance, women are particularly at risk during young adulthood, while men, the risk is higher in the early middle age. Similarly, gender also plays a great role in this differential risk addition. Schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders. Schizophrenia is a descriptive term for a group of psychotic disorders in which personal, social, and occupational functioning deteriorate as a result of disturbed thought process, strange perceptions, unusual emotional states, and motor abnormalities. It is a debilitating disorder. The social and psychological costs of schizophrenia are tremendous, both to patients as well as to their family and society. Symptoms. The symptoms of schizophrenia can be grouped into three categories: positive symptoms, negative symptoms, psychomotor symptoms. Positive symptoms are pathological excesses or bizarre additions to a personal behavior. Delusions, disorganized thinking and speech, heightened perception and hallucinations, and inappropriate affect are the ones most commonly found in schizophrenia. Many people with schizophrenia develop delusions. A delusion is a false belief that is firmly held on inadequate grounds. It is not affected by rational argument and has no basis in reality. Delusions of persecution are most common in schizophrenia. People with this delusion believe that they are being plotted against, spied on, slandered, threatened, attacked, or deliberately victimized. People with schizophrenia may also experience delusions of reference in which they attach special and personal meaning to the actions of others or to objects and events. In delusions of grandeur, people themselves believe to be specially empowered, and in delusions of control, they believe that their feelings, thoughts, and actions are controlled by others. Auditory hallucinations are most common in schizophrenia among hallucination category. Patients hear sounds or voices that speak words, phrases, and sentences directly to the patient, or talk to one another referring to patient as he or she, as in a third person. Hallucinations can also involve the other senses. This include tactile hallucination, that is forms of tingling, burning, somatic hallucination, that is something happening inside the body such as snake crawling inside one's stomach, visual hallucinations, that is vague perceptions of color, gustatory hallucinations, that is food or drink tastes strange, olfactory hallucinations, smell of poison or smoke, etc. Neurodevelopmental disorders. A common feature of the neurodevelopmental disorders is that they manifest in the early stage of development. Often the symptoms appear before the child enters school or during the early stage of schooling. These disorders result in hampering personal, social, academic, and occupational functioning. These get characterized as deficits or excesses in a particular behavior or delays in achieving a particular age appropriate behavior. We will now discuss about several disorders like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, autism spectrum, intellectual disability, and specific learning disorder. The two main features of ADHD are inattention and hyperactivity, impulsivity. Children who are inattentive find it difficult to sustain mental effort during work or play. They have a hard time keeping their minds on any one thing or in following instructions. Common complaints are that the child does not listen, cannot concentrate, does not follow instructions, is disorganized, easily distracted, forgetful, does not finish assignments, and is quick to lose interest in boring activities. Children who are impulsive seem unable to control their immediate reactions or to think before they act. They find it difficult to wait or take turns, have difficulty resisting immediate temptations or delaying gratification. Minor mishaps such as knocking things over are often common, whereas more serious accidents and injuries can occur. Hyperactivity also takes many forms. Children with ADHD are constant in motion. Sitting still through a lesson is impossible for them. Children may fidget, squirm, climb, and run in the room aimlessly but cannot sit in a particular position for a long time. Autism spectrum disorder is characterized by widespread impairments in social interactions and communication skills and stereotype patterns of behaviors, interests, and activities. Children with autism spectrum disorders have marked difficulties in social interaction and communication across different contexts, a restricted range of interests, and strong desire for routine. About 70% of children with autism spectrum disorder have intellectual disabilities. In case of specific learning disorder, the individual experiences difficulty in perceiving or processing information efficiently and accurately. These get manifested during early school years and the individual encounters problems in basic skills in reading, writing, and mathematics, etc. The affected child tends to perform below average for his or her age. However, individuals may be able to reach acceptable performance levels with additional inputs and efforts. Specific functioning and learning disorder is likely to impair functioning and performance in activities, occupations dependent on related activities. Disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders. The disorders include under the category are oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, and others. Children with oppositional defiant disorder (ODD) display age inappropriate amounts of stubbornness and irritable, defiant, disobedient, and misbehave a lot. They do not see themselves as angry, oppositional, or defiant and often justify their behavior as a reaction to circumstances or demands. Thus, the symptoms of the disorder become entangled with the problematic interaction with others. The terms conduct disorder and antisocial behavior refer to the age inappropriate actions and attitudes that violate family expectations, societal norms, and personal or property rights of others. The behaviors typically of conduct disorder include aggressive actions that cause or threaten harm to people or animals, non aggressive conduct that causes property damage, major deceitfulness or theft, etc. Children show many different types of verbal aggressiveness and like name calling, swearing, and physical aggression, proactive aggression, etc. Feeding and eating disorders. Another group of disorders which are special interest to young people are eating disorders. These include anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa and binge eating. In anorexia nervosa, the individual has a distorted body image that leads him or her to see himself or herself as overweight, often refusing to eat, exercising compulsively, and developing unusual habits such as refusing to eat in front of others. The person with anorexia may lose large amount of weight and even starve himself or herself to death. In bulimia nervosa, the individual may eat excessive amount of food, then purge his or her body. This can be done by eating medicines or vomiting. The person often feels disgusted and ashamed when he or she binges, and is relieved out of tension in negative emotions after purging. In binge eating, there are frequent episodes of out of control eating. The individual tends to eat a higher amount of food than required while doing nothing. Substance related and addictive disorders. Addictive behavior, whether it involves excessive intake of high calorie food resulting in extreme obesity or involving the abuse of substances such as alcohol or cocaine, is one of the most severe problems being faced by society today. Disorders relating to maladaptive behaviors resulting from regular and consistent use of substance involved in are included under substance related and addictive disorders. These disorders include problems associated with the use and abuse of alcohol, cocaine, tobacco, opioids, etc. While there are many disorders listed under this category, few are the following: alcohol, heroin, and cocaine.